Hi, I'm G Charman and welcome to my series of Back to Basic recipes. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to steam salmon with rainbow veg and a light Asian dressing. So this is an alternative to a one-pot wonder. It's a one-parcel wonder. Everything goes into a little parcel and then is steamed, and it keeps all the beautiful juices and flavours in, and then at the table your guests can open up their parcels themselves. Well, I'm just going to make a little dressing first. In here I've got a bit of runny honey, and then I'm going to add a little bit of light soy sauce and then a bit of dark soy sauce. So a little bit of that goes into. I'm just going to stir that together. You just want the honey to sort of melt into the soy sauce. That's perfect. Great. And then I've just got a piece of baking parchment. You can use tin foil, but I think this is slightly nicer to look at. And then I've got a beautiful piece of salmon with the skin on, which has just been scaled. And then some vegetables. So I've got some yellow peppers that I'm going to scatter on, just finely sliced. Some red peppers. Now the great thing about steaming in a parcel like this is that any juice that comes from the peppers or from the broccoli or the ginger will just fall off and into the sauce in the bottom of the parcel. Some tender stem broccoli, I've just got the florets of it rather than the stalks. If you're going to use the stalks, I would steam them first, or you could use mange tout or courgette or anything you've got really in the fridge. And then here I've got a few little bits of ginger to go on, a few slices of chilli. Really, you can do whatever you like. If you've got green chilli or yellow chilies, you can just put those in as well. And then I'm just going to pour over a little bit of this dressing. Not too much because this will run off the paper. But if you want the ingredients for this, why don't you have a little look at the description box where everything is. And then a little bit of sesame oil, a few little drips. Again, this is for flavouring, not for cooking. And then you simply squeeze over a quarter of a lime. This will just balance out the honey, and actually I'm going to leave that in there because as that steams it becomes soft and releases more juice. And then I'm going to pick up the edges, fold the ends over and fold it into a little parcel, a bit like a Cornish pasty. Now at this stage, if you want to add any more juice, you can always pop it through the end like a little funnel. And then you just carry on. Just make sure the ends are up, and if you twist them, it'll stop everything from running out. Twist this one up. Then you sort of have a little parcel, boat shape, that can go into a steamer. Now I've got a bamboo steamer. They're pretty cheap to pick up now. You can get them from most supermarkets. And I've got a wok with about 2 inches of water, so there's just enough water to cover the bottom and create a bit of steam. And then I'm going to I'll just use one level. Pop this in here. Now if you don't have one of these, you can always put a colander or a sieve in a deep saucepan. The water shouldn't be touching the bottom of it, and pop a lid on top. It's not ideal, and if there are big gaps you can wrap a little bit of foil around the edges. These are so cheap and great way of cooking. So a little parcel goes in like that. And lid on, and all you need to do now is just keep checking the water and make sure it hasn't dried out, and then leave that for about 10 minutes to steam, and it'll be beautifully tender. So this has been steaming for about 10 minutes now. I'm just going to take the lid off and turn the heat off. And the best way to check is to use a skewer or a toothpick. You don't need to do this with all of the bits of fish if you're doing more than one, but if you just open up the package slightly and just put the skewer in, if it goes through the flesh of the fish really easily, then it's cooked. If there's resistance, then it needs a little bit longer, but that's done. I'm just going to roll that back up again. So to get it out, I'm just going to use a bit of a fish slice to help it on its way. And then it's just time to open the bag up with all those gorgeous juices in the bottom. The vegetables are perfectly cooked and slightly crunchy. And you can see all this gorgeous sauce in the bottom, and that lime has softened and released loads of juice. And if you want, you can serve it with some sticky rice or just some noodles that you've tossed in sesame oil. And there you have it, a beautiful fragrant dish. If you've enjoyed this recipe and want to see more, why not click on the subscribe button, or join me for my next episode in my Back to Basics series.